Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And if I've just completely forgotten what I was going to say. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, with that said, let's check it out. For your key to the week, this week you have the Chariot card. Now, they say that how you start the week off determines how your week is going to go, right? So the fact that you have the Chariot here, it makes you strong of mind, strong of heart. It sees you being very proactive. It sees you really being ready and willing to face any test. Now, you might find this week, because remember the Chariot card is fast, right? So this could be a very fast week. It could be a very dynamic week for you. When it comes to the Chariot card as well, there's two things that tend to happen around this energy. One is that you yourself are, it's kind of like, and this week I feel like it's coming from within. It's kind of like you're saying, you know what, whatever the test is, fucking bring it. Like, let's have it. So you're going to be very proactive, very fast-witted talking this week. Now, remember, there is a lot of retrograde energy, but it looks like this week you are relying on your own dynamo, right? You've got all your own mojo this week, and you are not holding back for anyone or anything. Now, remember, the Chariot card is very fast, so sometimes it can see you being a bit faster than you need to be, right? So slow it down just a little bit. Make sure that you're, doing your thing. Make sure, and if you, just take your time with it. There's nothing saying that you can't, whatever it is that comes up for you this week, fine, go for it, challenge it, right? Work hard, work smart. But just take your time with it, because there's a lot of retrograde energy around at the moment. Now, the other part of this is there is some aspect of self this week that you are conquering, whether this is one of your own shadows, whether it's one of your own demons, whether it's some part of you that, maybe that's, I remember someone said to me years ago, when I was about 22, and it was actually my Reiki master. And when I was doing my training, what he said to me was, there is an energy in you, Raf, and it took a lot for me to acknowledge this, because I knew he was right. And when I heard it, I was like, yeah, you know what, it's uncomfortable to hear, but I needed to hear that, because that's when I really started to heal it. He said there's a spiteful little boy energy inside you that you haven't quite dealt with or gotten over yet. And at the time I was like, oh bitch, don't hold back, will you? Right? But it was worth it, because when he told me that, it really gave me credence to work on it. So this week I feel like, whether you're man, woman, child, whatever, it looks like some aspect of yourself this week you are going to heal, but you are having to look at it honestly and frankly. And if you've got that kind of, bring it. If you've got that kind of energy, approach this aspect of yourself as well, so that you can assimilate it and heal it. For your actions and options this week, you have the Hanged Man. What did I say to you? Take your time. You have all the time that you need. Now, this is a week where you are being very proactive about what you do with your energy. It looks like you are being very proactive with what you do with your spiritual energy this week as well. Now, because you have the Hanged Man in your actions, this is about you taking your time. So you're not rushing this process. You might feel that you want to. You might decide that you want to do things quicker than they're happening, but it looks like you are exercising that, and maybe that's it, right? Because Aries is all about that fire forward progression. Let's do. What's next? Maybe that's the aspect of yourself that you are conquering. Maybe that's what Mars in Pisces has taught you, right? To take your time with things, to have compassion with people, and ultimately to have compassion with yourself. This is nice. I really like this energy for you, because it means you're channeling and focusing this energy. You're not just letting it run all over you or run you. For your communications and conversations, you got the Sun card, baby. I love it, right? So this is great. What this gives you is light, blessings. It means that you are communicating from a place of truth, from a place of strength, but the quiet, silent dignity kind of strength, not the brute force that everybody knows Aries for. This is a much tighter controlled self. This is you being very quick, very smart, very witty this week. Not that you're not all of those things already, right? But this week, your mind and your communication is on fire. You could be spotting things really fast this week. You could be using a very powerful and a very dynamic energy. And the fact that this is in your communications and conversations, it looks like there's something that you are ready to release onto the world. Now, again, a lot of retrograde energy. So, you know, just be cautious about it. But it looks like this week you are ready to reveal something, and it may very well be some aspect of yourself, because you've got the Hanged Man there, right? Which can sometimes be that martyr energy, but I don't feel like it's that dysfunctional energy this week. I feel like this is Aries making themselves vulnerable to say, look, you know what, this has been my experience, or this is what I've been through, this is why I am the way that I am, and this is what has shaped me. It sees you being very honest, very open, very proactive, and this week I feel like you guys, among a few people, are going to make probably the most progress or the most change. For your money and materials, you have the Ace of Cups. Look at this, right? So this week money is good, right off the back of the Sun card. Now, if an opportunity should arise, if some sort of opportunity should arise, maybe somebody phones you to say, look, you know what, this came up and the first person that I thought about was you. It could be some form of work. It could be a change of direction when it comes to your work. It could be any one of those things, actually. And this looks really, really exciting, because remember, the Ace of Cups, it brings you the kind of abundance that you can share with others. It's the cup that runneth over, right? It's the, what's it called? The Holy Grail, so to speak. Now, the fact that you've got this in your money and materials, health looks much better this week. It does look like a lot of you are starting to regulate any health issues that you might have had. When it comes to the home, a lot of you are starting to think about your long-term plans, whether this is a move for some of you, which is very possible. For a lot of you though, it does look like you are considering not how to do, but where to do your next bout of travel, which is really nice. For your love and relations, you've got the Devil card, right? So this week, it's the love life that is going to be upsetting you, or maybe some form of a challenge comes up. Now, because you've got the Sun card here, what do we say about this? It adds light, heat, strength, power to everything that it touches. It diminishes the challenges, and it enhances the blessings. Now, the fact that you've got this right over your love and relations, it does look like this week you are having some tough conversations. For those of you that are partnered especially, it looks like you might be having some really tough conversations. A big heart-to-heart is coming up for a lot of you. It does feel like your love life is probably going to be the, you know, like when they say like, oh, you can't just have it all. I've got to be honest, I feel like it will be your love life this week that is a bit draggy or a bit lagging. Now, if that is the case, remember, you've got the Sun card there. You will be able to find a way to speak your truth honestly and openly from the heart space, but you are doing it in a way that is truly compassionate, not only to your partner or your significant other, but to yourself. And it may be that there's something about yourself that you are revealing that allows people to see you in a different light. Now, this could be a familial connection, but it could also be a personal one. For those of you that are single, I'm going to be really honest. If somebody comes in this week, it does look like they could potentially be around for some time, but one thing that you need to know about them is this person either really does have a serious past, or there is something about them that you don't know as yet. So just be cautious. Remember, by the time by the time this week starts, Venus will have already gone direct, but she's still in shadow, and Mercury still will be retrograde up until, I think it's like the 15th of July. So you probably want to wait until around the 21st, 22nd before you really start to make any concrete moves, especially in these kind of areas. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.